Thank you. The Honorable Minister, sir.
Let's go to the Provost. He's on his way.
It's on its way, Dr. Bello. The Honorable Minister is on his way.
Thank you very much. Oh, yes. There is just one woman that we've all been waiting for, and that's the first female IT guru in Nigeria. So the pleasure is mine once again this morning to call on our mother, the Provost, and also the first female Provost of the College of Fellows Nigerian Computer Society, Professor Adenike Oshofison. Mommy, you are welcome. Great. Well, while we are waiting for just one or two people to join us, I'm quite sure that there is just something that has been ringing into our ears, and all of us are we took cognizance of the issues that we've been having with bandwidth. And probably within the next 1 hour, from the theme of today, will the implementation of 5G, will it actually be a solution to the problem of bandwidth connection? And apart from that, I know some people are having issues with even the devices that they're using. Could it be as a result of that some devices will go into extinction? We're going to learn a lot more in the course of this assembly. And like the President and Chairman in Council earlier on told us, there's a lot of misgivings concerning the adoption of 5G. And unfortunately, it was introduced, when there was a world crisis. And the misgivings, the claims was that, oh no, don't talk about 5G now. 5G is actually the cause of the crisis that we're going through. It actually led to, such a massive increase in involuntary exposure to electromagnetic radiation. I'm quite sure that if we have one or two people in the health sector that will be joining us later, they might be in a position to tell us about the implication of this. And some of the claims also that came on board about 3-4 months ago was that the 5G adoption was actually developed without dosimetric determination. And there was not even a single study of what the health implication will be. And this was why so many people were initially afraid that probably because one or two countries adopted it, that started the implementation, and that was what led to the COVID-19 virus. But I'm quite sure that while we're looking at some of the challenges that will come forth with it, we will see if they are part of this. And if you hear what the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Education said, he said, yes, we are going to adopt the 5G, but we started from somewhere. Way back in 1981, the 1G was in place, and those that were able to use the phone then were like, wow, we have arrived. Then it took so many years that we were able to step up, and we had a second generation. After the second generation, which happened around 1998, and then we learn about something about digital. So it's not just about you using your phone and the text messages. There are a lot of digital things that will come on board. Then we moved on gradually to the 3G. The CDMA, the internet, and everybody were like, wow, 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 wow. And I remember in 2008, when the 4G came, so many people were reluctant of even moving to the fourth generation. No, it's going to eat my bandwidth. No, the money implication. And I observed that even most of our telecom companies, they couldn't even wake up to that level of challenge. If I should ask now, we have almost 400 participants online at the moment. Some people are still using their 3G SIM. And as such, they will get to an environment where they need to connect or do one or two things, and they realize that the whole thing is moving at what? At a very snail speed. But we are not talking about the 5th generation. We're talking about the mobile network that is wireless. We're talking about something now that will do what? That will connect anything. It will connect the human being, it's going to connect objects, it's going to connect devices. And then probably we now start making use of robots. Even in anchoring events, we might not need the likes of moderators like me. The robots will be there to coordinate us. So we're going to learn a lot today. But while I want you all as participants to prepare your mind, are we really ready for it? Do we have what it takes as a nation to actually adopt 5G? I know that we have a great speaker in the house who will lead us more onto this. So I'll quickly move on. We have
Dr. Bello.
Chris, okay?
Yes, okay.
I don't know if he will be representing the DG, am I right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so on this note, could you please join me to welcome the DG of NIDA, ably represented by Mr. Chris Okeke, to please give us the goodwill message. You're welcome, sir.
All right. I say thank you very much, my dear sister, and the president in council. Sorry for the technical hitches that we had from onset. It was a little bit difficult for us to connect at the onset. But thank God eventually that has been resolved. I want to start by tendering my apology on behalf of the Director General, who would have been here. In fact, he made all attempt to be here today, but you know, as a civil servant, there was a higher call. And that is why he said that I should represent him this morning. All protocols duly observed. I want to give the goodwill message, which actually is supposed to give. And whatever, I believe that by the grace of God, whatever I said, it's just, you can make reference to him because I am just a civil servant. So on all protocols duly observed, on behalf of the Director General, Kashifo Inoa, and the management of NIDA, you are welcome, all of you, to this August assembly. I wish to inform you and remind you that NIDA and CPN are partner in progressive development of ICT in Nigeria, and as such, this is our assembly. What I mean that this is both NIDA and the CPN assembly. I say that because, of course, the president in council is my president, the NCS president is my president, and NIDA DG is also my DG. So, and everything is, well, I will say that everything is one umbrella. And I say that this assembly, like the DG has said, I should say, is our own assembly. As you know, NIDA is in the forefront of developing guidelines, frameworks, standards, and regulations. As such, we collaborate with relevant and various stakeholders, such as CPN. I know that CPN has been a major player in the development of this guideline for the development of ICT in the country. Also, CPN and NIDA have been effectively involved in the promotion of ICT local content in Nigeria, which have been one of the major activities of the agency. And of course, NIDA, CPN has been involved. I want to say also that effective and harmonious collaboration with NIDA and CPN. And I do believe that this arrangement or this working relationship will continue to, improve. I also want to say that also NICDA and CPN have collaborated or collaborating in promotion of ICT local content in Nigeria. Specifically, CPN played a significant role in the success that recorded by JAMB in the use of CBT in the last JAMB exams. In support of IT clearance projects, which has saved the country a huge sum of money, running in billions, and has added a very great value to the implementation of ICT projects in the country. The CPN has put in place scale of professional charges so as to harmonize IT procurement and standardized costs of implementation of ICT in Nigeria. Just like I said, that CPN and NICDA has been working, in partnership. And just like I believe that this partnership will only but improve. And I know with the people, the caliber of men and women we have in the council, it will continue to improve. In conclusion, I want to say that the theme of the conference, which is adoption of 5G technology in Nigeria, is very apt as it brings forward the global conversation on revolution that the 5G technology in ICT world. That is why it is important that professional bodies such as CPN should take lead and be more visible in examining the technological challenges associated with its adoption. We therefore commend the Assembly for these initiatives, or this initiative, believing that the outcome of the conference will contribute significantly in profiling answers to some questions that in the adoption of the technology. On behalf of the agency and on behalf of the management of NIDA, we once again commend the Assembly for this effort and wish you a fruitful deliberation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chris Okeke. Please, we are just trying to bring Professor Shofison on board now. As professionals, I just want you to have this at the back of your mind in the course of our discussion today, that how can you actually take advantage?
Doctor, please, the Honorable Minister of Communication and Education Technology is here now. We can call him up. He's using
yes.
Sadiq.
Sadiq, thank you very much. I just noticed that. Thank you very much. Okay. Sorry, once again, we're still going to bring on board the Honorable Minister of Comtech and Digital Economy, in person of Dr. Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami. So you are humbly welcome, sir.
The President of Nigeria Computer Professional Council, my brother, Professor Charles Wadia, other chief executive officers here present, the management team of Nigeria Computer Professionals here present, my fellow colleagues and members of CPN, all other protocols duly and respectfully observed. Good morning, and may peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you. I am highly delighted to be part of this virtual IT professionals capacity building assembly organized by CPN, Computer Professionals Registration Council, And it happens most probably to be the first assembly organized as a virtual assembly, which is highly commendable, as we all predicted that COVID-19 pandemic, in its nature, it is a negative issue. But if we look at how it has changed the world, many people are going digital, then in that direction, as a part of IT professionals, we can say it has some positive things that it came along with. So because many activities now are going virtual, and this is what makes our profession very dear and also very critical to the success of each and every sector globally. IT or ICT is not just an independent sector as it is today, but rather it is the key enabler of each and every sector. If you go into security, ICT is key. If you go into defense, ICT is key. If you go into agriculture, ICT is key. If you go into education, so the nature of ICT is beyond standalone sector. It is indeed an independent sector, but it becomes the key enabler of each and every sector. And this pandemic brought about this clearly, that this sector is very critical. And furthermore, I also commend the leadership of CPN, Computer Professionals Registration Council of Nigeria, for choosing a very important topic to be the theme of this discussion. That is adoption of a fifth generation in Nigeria, the technological and regulatory challenges. However, the theme is very apt, but I wish that the theme has been coined to be adoption of 5G in Nigeria, prospects and challenges, so that we can discuss both of them. What are the prospects? And then what are the challenges? But if you look at the theme, it focuses more on the challenges rather than the potential prospects that may come along with the 5G, so that the topic will be balanced. We discuss what are the good side of it and what are the challenges, and we will see what we can do and what is best for our country. This is just an observation on the topic, as we are all aware that in Nigeria here, I resumed duty as the minister in charge of communications and digital economy on 21st August 2019. Less than a month after resumption of office, I discovered that there was a plan to deploy or to start the trial of 5G in Nigeria. So the Nigerian Communications Commission, the regulatory body of the telecom sector, was directed to put it on hold and get in touch with other stakeholders that need to come and witness the trial, so that the trial will be witnessed by all experts or the representative of other experts. And after the trial, we can sit down and evaluate the report of the trial. And based on that, federal government can take decision on 5G. It is because of that, they were directed to invite security institutions and many other professionals, in which I personally witnessed the trial here in Abuja, which was very successful then. And after the trial, a report was presented to my office, in which I also asked them to invite other stakeholders from ICT sector, from health sector, including environment and many more, so that they can sit down and look at the report of the trial and come up with the final decision of what government should do based on 5G in the country. However, we are very much aware that 5G has been deployed in other nations, like in the US, South Korea, for example, in China. Here in Africa, even South Africa has deployed 5G. If I can recall vividly, Comoros has also deployed 5G. So there are some countries that have already deployed. In Nigeria, we are yet to deploy it. We conducted the trial, which is the global standard, and I witnessed the trial, And we invited many stakeholders during the trial in the National Assembly, in the executive arm of government, in the private sector, among the professional bodies. At least most of them were represented then. So now the report is ready, and I believe it is the right time that all stakeholders will look into the report and see what is the next line of action. We know technology has many advantages. There is no doubt about this. However, as a government, whatever we want to do, our priority is the protection of lives and property of our citizens. That is the priority. No matter how technology is important, as long as it will be negative to the health or security of our country, then as a government, we have no justification of inclining to it. So that is why we feel that we need to engage more stakeholders to review it and ensure that it is safe before any license will be given for its deployment if there is need for that. And that only depends on the evaluation, assessment, and the critical trial, and also the experience of other nations. And in addition, if we are comfortable with it, or we are not, it is our collective responsibility to create awareness. In order to have at least one consensus, that is what delays the deployment, because I don't want anything to be conducted without wider consultation. If we take a decision not to deploy, then it is a collective decision. If we take a decision to deploy, then it should be a collective decision. That is our plan, at least to take our final decision based on evidences. And that evidence is not only for those in ICT sector, including those in health, those in environment, those in security. We must come together, work together, and look at and evaluate the pros and cons and take our based on that. As I said earlier, some nations have already deployed it and in a head, but I insist, no, let us evaluate, review on, and ensure that if we are comfortable with it, we need to also engage our citizens to create awareness, because many people today believe in the conspiracy theories. So this is one of the challenges facing the disruptive technologies or the emerging technologies, as the case may be, which 5G is among the emerging technologies. So this is another issue that if we just sit down without creating awareness on what we do, why we do, then conspiracy theory will dominate the world. Mobile phone in Nigeria, many people rejected mobile phone. If you use it, you can hardly spend a year without cancer. But today, many people use mobile phone for maybe 15, 16, 17 years without any cancer. So this is very important. We engage citizens. And the same challenge, and the worst part of 5G, even in developed nations, there are so many theories, whether it is so I'm not preempting that. Professionals will come up with recommendations on what federal government can do to either deploy it or not, and make also recommendations if we are to deploy, what are the stages to be taken. Federal government believes consultation, and I think this is very apt to look into it and make up. And because of this, whatever you discuss, we will be most appreciative to have a copy of it and some recommendations to government that we can review critically and take the next line of action. So finally, I commend CPN for organizing this virtual IT professionals capacity building assembly. And secondly, I also appreciate the fact that I have been invited to come here and say a word or two. However, I have a series of activities on my table, many meetings. Even now, I am to go for another meeting. But being a member of CPN, who has a good relationship with the president and who happens to be my brother, in order to continue to support him and make him very successful, I feel it is necessary for me to create time out of no time to come here and support my brother, Professor Charles Owadia, and all other members on this platform. So thank you very much for the invitation. I wish us a very successful deliberation as we sit down and wait for the outcome and of the deliberation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, the Honorable Minister. We appreciate you a lot. However, I don't know why I need to say this. I'd wanted to pick on something which I expected people to turn up, but unfortunately, towards the end of your contribution, I just saw the message. Dr. Pantami's bandwidth is low. I'd wanted to ask initially that you are about the first speaker for almost 5-6 minutes without any interruption. And we were wondering if you are using a special bandwidth. So I wanted to say that that bandwidth should be what should be given to every common person in this country. We appreciate you all the good work that you are actually doing, but sir, one key thing, even when we're going to start the implementation of the 5G, is to get the telecom section. Something needs to be done concerning the bandwidth. So on this note, we want to say a very big thank you to you, sir. Please, can we give him thumbs up for a wonderful contribution for the keynote speaker?
So thank you very much. Allow me just a minute to respond. I have seen so many personal messages in Q&A here. Thank you very much for all your messages in Q&A. I have been seeing messages coming to me. I appreciate your kind words, really. And secondly, on the issue of bandwidth, I'm using the same bandwidth with anybody. Bandwidth in my office has been deployed by Galaxy Backbone Limited, which is a federal government-owned company. And it is the same with the bandwidth of any other civil servant here. The same bandwidth I use, the same bandwidth my driver here uses, is the same bandwidth any civil servant uses here in the federal secretariat. So there is nothing special. And secondly, on that, I believe you are very much aware, and CPN was represented. Bandwidth issue is a very challenging. Built and launched the plan. And in that plan, they came up with so many policies and strategies for federal government to implement and ensure that bandwidth is very strong and very effective, and the penetration is encouraging.
Wow, it seems that we have actually lost in there, same bandwidth. That's a discussion for another day. Please, I want us to know that our time is fast spent. We are supposed to start with our keynote address now, but please kindly permit me to call on the Provost College of Fellows, Professor.
Provost, continue, ma.
Yes, please. Okay. Well, I would like to congratulate the Computer Professionalization Council for bringing up this topic at this particular point in time. And I quite understand why they conduct focus on challenges, because a lot of people spoke on the, well, when we tell them about the challenges and how the challenges can be resolved, I believe that that's when people are going to be take the whole thing seriously. If we begin to reel out only the advantages, they will just tell us they don't understand what we're talking about. So I congratulate you on the topic of addressing the challenges of the 5G technology. I don't want to repeat what other people have been saying. It is in the interest of Nigeria that we should adopt the 5G technology, and all the conspiracy theory, we shouldn't bother too much about them, because if every technology that comes on board, there are always a conspiracy theory about them. I remember when television came on board, some people even went and burnt their televisions and threw them away. And now those people are now using the television. And when the internet came on board, there were a lot of conspiracy theories about the internet. And those people with their conspiracy theory, all of them are now using the internet to do one thing or the other. So it is very apt that we tell them about the challenges, because there's no technology that does not have its own challenges. But I also believe that as we talk about the challenges, we also talk about how to mitigate those challenges so that people will quite understand the 5G technology. I bring good tidings from the College of Fellows, and to tell you that we are partners in progress. And at yesterday's College of Fellows meeting, we discussed about something that we can do for government. And I know 5G technology is going to play a very key role in doing that. I don't want to mention what it is because I don't want anybody to preempt the college. The college is going to work with CPN and NCS.
Could you please adjust your camera so that we can see your face, ma'am? Kindly adjust your camera. We can. Okay. Thank you.
Can you see my face now? Okay. So, like I said, the college fellows, we are partner in progress with both NCS and CPN. I will continue to partner with you. And we believe so much in the topic because when you talk about challenges and you tell people how to mitigate those challenges, then that is when you are going to tell them, that's when you will let them know that 5G is not something bad and it is something that Nigeria must be on board with. So I congratulate the president in council and the vice president, the president and chairman in council, the vice president and chairman in council, the registrar, and every member of the council, and as well as all the IT practitioners. And I'm looking forward to hearing the keynote address as well as other people that will speak about the 5G technology. So I thank you all for listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Provost.
Thank you. Thank you, Provost Collector Fellow. Thank you very much. Please, we sincerely appreciate all the people that gave us the goodwill messages for CPN.